Alright, ladies and folks, it's official. I'm started. Welcome to the UN. You're not going to find any round table here. Just me. And the whole purpose of this is every week you guys, Facebook, you do it. Well, hang on, this is my first time. So you do it. You can comment whichever side. I'm doing both because I don't remember. Either side the comments show up. If for my next episode, if you're watching this on YouTube, do it, comment below, subscribe, who knows. But this is our first episode, and I got this from Facebook. And I know the whole thing of it is, I'll be doing primarily Chinese, German, Ukrainian / Russian cultures. But today, I figure, why not, Why not do something Japanese? So, here we go. And this is the Japanese nine-tailed fox from Japan. Now, what was interesting about this was I'd never heard of this, So, I learned some things. But first off, before I get into the actual references, I've got down here, I'm going to give, which I've got 4 sets of references. And these are all, ones before you guys start, there are more, there's references of this creature and, this anime and this. These are all references to this myth or legend in just places where I can link them. If I can link something about a character or something in a game, and I can link it to the legend of the episode, then it's included. If I cannot make the link, if I cannot, if there's not enough evidence to make the link together, I know. Anyway, then I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna include it. Because if I did, I would be sitting here for hours on end, looking through Wikipedia and all that, Google. So this is all the basics. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to give you guys a basic overview, of basically what is this? What is this legend? What are some basic, traits that I can find, what's the background? First of all, I did not know, what the Japanese name was to start off with, so I just put on my notes Japanese nine-tailed fox. But, alright, the name Kitsune, and I have no clue, I think I got it right, but, any of you who speak Japanese, comment below and just politely tell me I, butchered it, and I'll remember it. Anyway, and this was interesting. In Japanese, the name Kitsune, it means and translates to fox or fox spirit. No, there. But anyway, I go on. There's possibility is that there are, in Japanese culture, there are several different tailed beasts, or, and who knows, if this series keeps going on, I might, do a little mini-series talking about all the tailed beasts in Asian culture. But for now, we're just doing this one subsection. Anyway, the Kitsune, it was interesting. It has counterparts. There are references to a fox-like spirit in not only Japanese culture, which is the one we're talking about now, but also, Chinese culture. By the way, shout out to my girlfriend Fiona. Thank you for coming up with the name UN. I would never thought of it. But anyway, and third, Korean culture. There are references to Kitsune, but that leaves me. There are differences. I'm not going to go into many of them, but One of the main similarities between the three are all three legends have talked about the ability to transform. And most of the time, oftentimes, and I'm going to reference this later on when I get to talking about the different references, but they actually will sometimes, most time, transform into a human female. So boys, watch out. That hot Asian chick you're talking to, she might actually be a fox. You know, if I can get the production value up, maybe next time I do that, there'll be the little rainbow, you know. Do-do-do-do-do. The more you know. Anyway, I know this is ridiculous. Anyway, but that's the Japanese, the kitsune, they're often depicted as intelligent. They're possessing magical abilities that will actually increase with their age and wisdom, and the ability, like I said, to assume human form. Most of the time, a young, you know, late teen female, human female. Sometimes there have been some times where they have actually taken the form of a human infant. But anyway, the tails, the most important thing is the tails. Because as the kitsune get older and wiser and more powerful, they will actually grow more tails. Now, I'm not saying, you know, you find, you know, the oldest and wisest and most powerful kitsune have like 15 tails, you know, like a peacock. No, it stops at 9, which is the reason for the name Nine Tails. But that's an interesting thing to note, you know. But anyway, and because of all this power and these abilities that the kitsune have, they are actually treated in Japan. Some people actually make offerings to them as they would a deity, you know. So I never knew that. But anyway, this one, there are 2 possible sources for the origin of the kitsune, or the nine-tailed fox, in Japan. Their possibles are the Hokkaido fox or the Japanese red fox. Both are subspecies of the red fox native only to Japan. So it is possible that back, you know, whenever, you know, in the feudal days of Japan, before, you know, it is possible that, you know, poets or anybody else like that actually were walking by in Japan and saw, you know, a red fox, you know, doing stuff, and they, you know, weren't thinking straight, and they suddenly, you know, had this idea to make the kitsune. You know, we're not sure, but I continue. There are 2 common classifications for the kitsune: the Zenko, or translated literally good fox, and the Yako, or literally field fox, or Nogitsune. But that's enough of the basic, you know, background. I'm pushing time here. Let's get into it. First up, Pokemon. You know, everybody knows, obviously, I'm going to talk about, you know, Ninetales. But first one I'm going to talk about from Pokemon is actually Vulpix. Now, it has a couple of kind of, you know, it has one really obvious one. I'm not going to go there. You know, if anybody's actually seen Vulpix, you obviously have counted the, you know, number of tails, 6 tails. I wish I had the ability to. I don't. You know, but anyway, it has the anyway. Another thing is, commonly when you play Pokemon, commonly Vulpix are most common female, which is a reference to what I just earlier said. The kitsune, their ability to transform most commonly into human females. You know, so. And another thing, I found this, and I didn't want to put this down, but I think this is important. A lot of kitsune have the ability to actually turn into what are called will-o'-the-wisps and fly around. And Vulpix have that same kind of ability. They can control their inner flame and actually make themselves fly around like a will-o'-the-wisp. So there's another one. Up next is the Ninetale. So the first, obviously, again, nine tails. I'm not even going there. You guys should already know. Second of all, the nine tail is very intelligent, like the kitsune. And the nine tails also have the ability, are also so intelligent they can actually understand human speech. So there's two right there. But anyway, the nine tails also have in their tails they can also hold strange and cosmic powers, allowing them to live up for 1,000 years. There's another, reference to the kitsune. Not so much to the, magical cosmic powers inside the tails, but kitsune live for a long time. They're like the tortoise of Japan. They can live for years longer than other people. But anyway, so and finally, this one I found interesting. Both Vulpix and Ninetales are both fire-type Pokemon in the National Pokedex. So that might just possibly be a reference to Katsune. I'd have to do a little more digging and, maybe maybe if I get enough, if this goes on long enough, maybe come back and revamp, and fill in some missing pieces. But for now, that's possible. Next, and this one I kind of was surprised about, but Tails from Sonic the Hedgehog. Tails, we all know, has two tails, which again is another reference to the Kitsune multiple tails. The other thing is that, and of course, everybody knows Tails has high intellect. Same with our, the Kitsune. But here's one thing that I have to expand on. Throughout the Sonic the Hedgehog canon, and remember, when I say canon, remember, for those of you who don't know, canon is the storyline. All the events that happen, there are certain events that happen that are considered canon, So like Star Wars, books, all that's all canon. Fan fiction is not counted as canon because it could not happen, So that's what I mean when I say canon. So for now, in the Sonic the Hedgehog canon, throughout the years, Tails has always been very loyal to Sonic, which is a reference to, and this is going to get a little bit weird, folks, starting now. Vulpix, the Kitsune, have always, in every legend, they're always talked about as being fiercely loyal, or very loyal to a man, to the point where they will actually become, transform again into human females and become wives, lovers, sometimes even guards. There's where your reference to Tails being loyal to Sonic moves in. So, and a couple of these, and before I continue, John, if you're watching, I'm not doing Yu Yu Hakusho or Naruto, for the simple reason that I looked at those two, and when it came to Yu Yu, the only one I could find was the character they talked about one point in the series. One character, he turns into looking like a fox. Yeah, so, and that possibly, I haven't watched the show in years, that possibly could have been a reference to the Kitsune, possibly not, but I'm taking it as a not, because there was not much. And Naruto I'm not including, because in it they talk about the Nine Tails being a demon and being this giant destroyer. And actually in the show, if you watch the episodes like I did, and I can remember it, the Nine Tails in the show always appears to be this giant orange, just demon monster. And from what I've researched about the Kitsune is that they weren't, not all of them were, there were, like I said, earlier I talked about the two different classifications, the field fox and the Yako. They're described as being mischievous, like they'll pull down your pants and they run away. But they're not, just tidal wave, destroy your house, You know, you were almost close to harvest. Well, guess what? Earthquake, no more field. So, I mean, that's just destructive. But so possibly, you know, Ninetales could be, you know, this part of that group, you know, and just be kind of more eviler. But for now, I'm taking it as a not. Anyway, up next is Digimon, and I'm sure those of you who watched the season where literally, you know, the Digimon come to our world, and there are two in particular that I'm paying attention to. That's Renamon and Kyubimon. I don't know if I said that last one right, but anyway, both are actually in the show. They're treated as female. They're, you know, when they talk about them, they use words like her and she and what's wrong with her, you know. So they're treated as female, and that is once again another reference to the fact that, you know, that the Japanese nine-tailed fox or the kitsune will actually, when they transform, will most often take the form of a female, a human female. So, and next, Renamon is described as being fox-like. That's it. You know, fox-like. I mean, maybe they just wanted her to look like just a regular fox and were reading too much into it, or maybe they were purposely trying to, but I'm counting it. You know, I am counting it. And finally, her champion form, Kuibamon. Kuibe is actually another Japanese name for the Japanese nine-tailed fox, besides Kitsune. And finally, Zelda. And there is one character in particular, the Kenton, and this is about all I can find. Again, a three-tailed fox, that's once again another, you know, reference to the fact that this character, another reference that, you know, this character was modeled after the Kitsune. So, folks, that's you know, that's it. That's all I've really got. You know, I'm sorry it's not, you know, woohoo, yay. But let me know what you guys think. You know, comment, like, you know, share, do all that good stuff. You know, give me some good feedback, because I need it. I just want to know if you guys are learning about this stuff. You know, if you guys are, if this is as educational for you guys as it is for me, because I had fun doing this. You know, I learned some stuff that I didn't know. You know, and I'm sorry, you know, the description in it, and I've been counting it as, you know, Chinese, and mostly Chinese, and, you know, German and Ukrainian / Russian. And I turn around and first episode is, you know, Japanese. I'm sorry, you know, but if I keep this series going, so, and when you guys comment wherever, be sure if you guys have an idea for something I should do for the next episode of the UN, comment it, you know. Either comment, you know, if there's a certain game you want me to look into, or a certain, you know, level, or, you know, a certain, you know, character, or, you know, set of characters, or just a certain legend, that, you know, anything, you know, just, and I will do it. And if you know, I like it, I will do it. You know, that came out kind of mean, didn't it? But anyway, so you know, once again, you guys, you know, this is Gypsy, you know, Gypsy, and, you know, I mean, so, but I'm closing thoughts. It's been said that, you know, a lot of, you know, that a lot of common myths usually have some root in, you know, real reality, or in, you know, are true. Well, if that's the case, you know, here's what I want you guys to do. Go home, you know, go online, Google a myth or a legend. You know, if you're Native American, for my Native American viewers, look up a Native American legend that you have been interested in. You know, and just read through it and see if you can try to find anything that possibly, that would be rooted in reality. Just anything. It gives you a chance to kind of ask your parents, about your culture, about your heritage, and it gets you more interested in this stuff. And a little bit of news, I am planning on actually doing a, I've been playing Tomb Raider here lately, and it got me thinking. So here, and I'm not sure when I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna announce it on my Facebook page. I'm gonna announce on my Facebook page when I plan on doing it. But I'm gonna do research and learn more about the island of Yamatai or the eastern, or the triangle, Dragon's Triangle from the game, and I will do a video on that. If there's a lot of it, I will actually do a a multi-parter, a series. If I find, but I will let you guys know, on this channel, on Facebook, look me up at, Facebook, search Travis Ready Cup, look for the guy, grinning like an idiot next to a cute Chinese girl, and once again, subscribe, Google Plus me, whatever that, no, what, don't even bother doing that. Lastly, subscribe, comment, like, give me ideas, give me ideas for next week. Once again, if I like it, I will do it, and I will start doing these. Since it is a Friday, I will start doing it on Fridays. I'll research throughout the week. I will, find my references. I will get it started sometime, and I will have it ready and recorded and uploaded by Friday. Alright, this is Gypsy Danger saying peace, y'all, and keep hunting.